What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? All right, let's get this party started. My name is John. We're going to start a new series of summaries, not super duper in-depth, but a new series that'll come out hopefully about once a week to go along with drive-by devotionals and everything else that I've been trying to do on the spread of early Christianity. It's about 5 or 6 weeks, I believe. And the purpose is to equip and inform you as to how Christianity spread around the world, and also to dispel any myths about how it got spread around the world, because people like to spread rumors and say stuff that ain't true to make themselves feel important. All right, so early Christianity. We're going to talk first about India. So, Thomas the Apostle, Christianity came to India approximately 52 AD, according to multiple scholars. There's a lot of scholars that do believe and see and can show that Thomas the Apostle, well, not only was a real person, but really went to India. There was a gentleman by the name of Theophilus the Indian, an early Christian bishop, that claims that when he got to India in about 354 AD, Christianity was already there. So this, my friends, goes a long way to show the truth about Thomas the Apostle getting to India early on. John of Persia. Not much is known about this guy named John of Persia. However, in 325 AD, he signed his name as John of Persia at the Council of Nicaea as the Bishop of Persia and Greater India. The identity of the term Greater India is in somewhat of a little bit contention, but there are a lot of people that it does indeed mean the India that we know. If he is the bishop for India in 325, well, doesn't that mean that it is highly, highly possible, if not very possible, that Christianity was there at least 325? Like this guy, like I said, this guy Theophilus went there in 354. Christianity had been there and well established. So the fact that people doubt that Thomas was even real, never mind went to India, is their claims are starting to dissipate, right? So Pantaenus, again, I don't even know if I'm saying this guy's name right, Pantaenus, and he was a teacher and a missionary. He reported finding Christian communities using the Gospel of Matthew in Hebrew between 180 and 190 AD. All right. So, you have 3 different people going to India early on and finding established Christian communities. Here's something else that I wanted to point out, which doesn't really have anything to do with the spread of Christianity. However, it does go a long way to show about the books in the Bible being the right books. There is a lot of people say, well, what about the Gospel of Thomas? They took it out on purpose because it showed stuff that the church didn't want. If Thomas went to India in 52 AD, why would he not give them his gospel, his version of events, if he actually did write them? Why would he be using the Gospel of Matthew? As a side note, there is no real evidence showing that these Gospels of Thomas were actually written by Thomas. Now, more a little bit about Thomas. Okay, Thomas landed in a place called Kerala in India, and there was already a settlement of Jews in the area. Interesting. So he gets there around what we say, 52 AD, right? And there's already Jews there, okay? And they claim, these Jewish Indians, that they can trace their roots back to Solomon, which is not so far-fetched, given that Solomon was famous and had a lot of visitors from all over the known world, and that he had relationships, or a relationship with the Queen of Sheba, who was from what is now Ethiopia, and it is well known that Judaism was brought to Ethiopia or Africa with her and her people. Okay, so it's not terribly far-fetched to believe that because of Solomon, there were Jews in India. And this, of course, would have made it easy for Thomas to communicate and evangelize with the gospel. And finally, there are what's called St. Thomas Christians. They are a group of Christians in India who claim to trace their roots back to Thomas and his arrival in India. Again, these are only summaries, but they're very interesting. And they go a long way to inform and encourage you. So look forward to places like Africa, China, Japan, Latin America, Europe. So my friends, be cool. Until next time, catch you later.